Greetings. Welcome to the Remind training session for Kimberly Elementary School. My name is Dominique Harbor and I am your ETS. In this session, we'll be learning basically how to make the most out of Remind. We'll go over setting up your account to make sure that you're able to access the special features that we now have with our premium account, as well as go over best practices that you can use with your classes right away. So as you may know, your school is now on Remind and it's very easy to get started. With this account, you have features such as voice calls, longer messages that will help you reach more people and keep your communication in one place. And you will also get priority support from the Remind team in the event that you need it. So first, here's Remind in a nutshell. It's convenient and accessible. You can send messages instantly to any device. It's built for education, so you don't need to share your personal contact information. And it can help you and your classes succeed. Teachers use Remind to strengthen relationships with students and parents. Remind is text first, so it allows you to reach students and parents on the devices that they already use. Why teachers use Remind? It helps them save time, it improves their involvement and engagement, and it's more effective than other kinds of communications. So now let's move on to getting set up. I'll cover everything you need to do to make sure that you're set up with your district plan. We'll go over adding more people to your classes, and we'll also go over messaging basics. So we'll start with this quick checklist. So first, you'll look for the email from Remind and follow the instructions for logging in. Then you'll check your classes and customize your name or code if you'd like. And you can also go to your settings in the app if you'd like to do that. So do know that you can access Remind either from the app if you download the app or also from the actual website. So those are your two ways to access Remind. So if you have not already set up your account, you'll want to look for an email with a link to claim your account. And that email came from Remind. And it will look something like this. Kimberly Elementary School is now on Remind. To add classes, just click below to complete your account. So you want to click on Claim Your Account, and you'll see this prompt. So if you're new to Remind and you've never used it, you'll want to select No, I am new to Remind and follow the prompts to set up your account. If you already have an existing account, you'll want to click on Yes, I have, and then you will be prompted to enter in that account's credentials. And what Remind will do is then merge those two accounts into one account. So once you do that, you'll come to this screen, which will have a list of all of your classes. So you'll see any existing classes you had on that old account, as well as the ones that have been merged from the your new APS district account. So you review that. You can archive classes that you don't want anymore. And once you're done, click on Finish here below. Let's say for some reason you need to create an additional class. You would click on Create a Class, and then you would choose a name. You can either use the class code that's generated for you or create your own class code. And then you'll select your school, which will be obviously Kimberly Elementary. If you need to add more people to your class, under the classes in the upper right-hand corner, you will click where it says Add People. And if you were in class, you could use the in-person instructions. If you're sending instructions home, you'll want to click on Printable PDFs here. Or if you have phone numbers or email contacts, you can add them that way as well. And then also you see here, you can share a link. So these are all the different ways to add people. Obviously, we can't use in-person instructions at the moment. So you have the option for a phone or email. You can download that printable PDF and send that to parents, or you can share a link for them to join. To send a message, you would simply click on New Message, and you can send announcements either to your entire class, you can start conversations with just groups you've created, or to individuals. So again, you would select New Message, and you would enter your recipients here, and just choose who it is you would like to send your announcement or your message to. Remind also has a translate feature, which will be great for reaching your ELL families. So once you type your message, you will see an option that says translate underneath your message. You'll click that, and then it will prompt you to select a language that you want to translate that message to. Additionally, you can share photos and resources right within Remind. You can attach any file under 10 megabytes. Great for sending home forms, documents, or any other resources, even pictures. You may want to just snap a picture on your phone and you can share it with your class right from the app. And you see these are your options here to be able to share. You can also just, let's say you want to just send an audio clip, a voice clip. You can do that also by clicking on this microphone here. Remind also gives you the option to connect accounts. So when you select New Message on the side, you'll see different apps that you can connect to Remind. And so as you see here in that video, you just click on the app. It may prompt you to log in, and then you can select anything from that app to actually include in that message. So it's another way to make sure that assignments, resources are delivered to parents as well as students. You can also plan in advance with the schedule a message feature. So if you know you want to send announcements out throughout the week, go ahead and type your message. And at the bottom, before you send, you'll want to hit schedule, and you'll just choose the day and the time that you want to schedule that message for. You can also make a voice call. That's another premium feature that we now have access to. So with Remind, of course, your personal information will not be shared. To set this up, you would go under the Calls tab, and it'll prompt you to enter your phone number. It'll then send you a code to verify your phone number and connect you. And then you can just make calls directly from the app. So again, it's a way to keep your personal information private, but still be able to communicate with your parents or other teachers via Remind. And you can also set your office hours to make sure that you only receive calls during those hours. All of your calls are also logged. And they'll be logged in your message history, and you can add notes to that call log. So you see here, you can add call details or follow-ups here, and only you can see this. So you can select a reason for the call, and then you can type in your notes. So maybe a summary of what that call was about. If you had to call a parent, just a summary of, okay, this is what we talked about, to keep for your reference. And so now I just want to show you what your dashboard will look like once you're logged in and you've merged any classes that you have, or just claimed your account if you didn't have a previous account. So here's my dashboard. Here, I see my name. This is where I will click to create a new message. This classes own shows the classes that I own as a teacher. And so if I want to create new classes, I would simply click here. These are classes that I've joined. So as a parent, if your child's school is using Remind, the classes that you have joined will be listed here. So this is my classes as a teacher, and these are my classes as a parent. So, and again, the way you would get that is just by merging those two accounts, which we went over previously in this video. And then this just shows all the schools that I am connected to. Again, both as a teacher and a parent, and then the districts. So right now, I just created a demo class. I'm on my demo class. Here's where I would see any messages I have. I don't have any files that I want to send or share. I can click here to send a file. People, so this will show me all the people that are enrolled in my class that have signed up. Calls, this is where my call log will be. Again, once you connect your number, and I can click make a call to make a call. And then just settings I can access here. So where I can name my class, change the avatar, change the class code if I'd like, and just other class settings you can come in and change to your liking. And if you wanted to archive this class, you can do so down here. And then reuse class code, meaning that you can archive this class and then create a new class using the same class code. So that might be useful if you're using like your last name and you want to use it again for the following year. You can archive this class so that you can use that same class code for the new school year. So now let's address some best practices when using Remind. We'll discuss how teachers use Remind to address some common challenges and how to make sure that you feel equipped with actionable tips that you can use with your classes. Class announcements are best for scheduling weekly newsletters, whole class assignments, and other messages suited for the entire class and parents. It's recommended that you use weekly cadence, as too many announcements can be distracting. Direct or group conversations are best for individual reminders, celebrations, and two-way conversations. These are sent as needed and thus may be sent more frequently. Crafting an effective message. So think about the following factors when you're crafting a message to make sure that it's impactful. So think about your audience. Who's it for? Should it be an announcement or a one-to-one message? Who needs this information? What's the purpose? Does the content make sense given the purpose? Time. What time is most effective? Do you need to give recipients enough time to take action on something? We also know that people often reply to text messages soon after receiving them. So think about a time when you are ready and also able to respond. Keep it simple. Make sure your content is concise and to the point, and make it personal. So that may be adding images, video, names, etc., to make sure that it's personal and receptive. Extending learning outside the classroom. So some ideas: share photos of what's happening in the classroom. Encourage students and parents to find real-world applications. Prepare parents with questions about lesson topics. Engage your families. You can attach flyers to the announcements that you send home. You can follow up with parents individually to build rapport. You can use voice call. So what's next? As a part of our district rollout, students and parents should have been notified about their Remind accounts. When you add people to a class, they'll automatically receive a notification from Remind. So let's say you get new students. Once you add those parents to your class, they'll be notified about your class. If you have any technical questions or issues, you can contact Remind directly at support@remindhq.com, making sure that you are using your official school email and not a personal email. And that will give us access to priority support. And of course, you can always email me with any issues that you may have in setting up your account or making sure that you have merged accounts. I'll be more than happy to help. So hopefully this did help in getting you set up with Remind. Um, I am going to also send out a training guide for you that gives you step-by-step directions on how to access some of these features within Remind. So make sure to utilize that. But again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Any technical issues, feel free to use this email address that we have been given to receive priority support. Thank you and have a great remainder of your day.